Hey everybody, it's Audrey. Welcome to my channel. I have another page for my 'Tis the Season Scrappin' series. So these are holiday and winter scrapbook pages. This is day 7 of 12. I am using a cut file from the cut shop called Fresh Cut Trees. And I have cut this file from some green cardstock. And I kind of want to put this file as kind of like a background element. I don't want it to be the main focus of my page. And I'm going to use some pattern paper on top of it. And I just want a little peeks of this cut file to show. I also cut this file at a smaller scale because I wanted the trees to be smaller. So I could have dragged this out to fit. You can see it's pretty square. I could have dragged it out to fit the 12 by 12, but I thought that each individual tree would be much bigger then, and because I'm only using peeks of this cut file, little snippets of it, I wanted to have the smaller trees. So, and I had already kind of arranged this, as I often do, in Silhouette Design Studio before I actually cut it. So you can see I've cut my pattern paper there at some wonky angles because I just want some peeks of that cut file showing through. And I'm going to gesso this pattern paper. In looking back at the final product of this page, I kind of wish I didn't go with such a bold pattern on the front and I let the cut file stand out a little bit more, because I have the plaid here and I'm going to do mixed media over it and I have the cut file come in through the background. But the gesso definitely tones down the pattern a little bit. Maybe I should have just done a little bit more gesso around the edges, but it is what it is, and it's still a cute page, and I do like how it comes out at the end. I'm going through with some green mists. I think I am using, gosh, I just pull out colors. I don't really even look at the brands I'm using. I'm using a Studio Calico. I'm using a Shimmers. I'm using a Heidi Swap. I'm probably using Distress Oxide and maybe some other shimmers. So I'm using a whole bunch of inks and spray inks here. And the first green I used was really, really bright, so I often add a little bit of blue to kind of tone it down and to just make a little bit darker green. Obviously, as you see by my photo, I'm going for, and my cut file obviously, the Christmas tree color look, so I love how that green came out with the inks there. So these sheets are fun. These are sticky dots sheets, and they're by iCraft for ThermoWeb, and they are sheets of adhesive. I've used them a couple times before in my videos, and if you have a delicate, intricate file, they're very easy to use to adhere a file down. So it's just a big sheet of adhesive. They come in 8.5 by 11. And I think they come in 4 by 6 sizes too. But it's just a great way, again, to adhere a very detailed cut file. They do get a little sticky, but you can use them several times as well because you're not using all the adhesive off the page. You're just using, the area where your cut file goes. So you can use it for a lot of cuts at once. Okay, so I've kind of curled up my edges there. I wasn't planning on having those stars on the background peek out, but I kind of liked how they looked. So I'm going to go with that. I was just going to have it cut and maybe just distressed a little bit, but I like how the little peaks of red coming out. So all of the things I am using, I believe, are from the November Hip Kit Club Kit. So this is a die cut pack of just Christmas trees, which is super fun. All different colors and patterns. And because I have such a strong green background, I'm going to add lots of little pops of color in there. I love this kit so much. There were so many great holiday bits in there. But sometimes it's hard to decide what to use on your page when you have so many fun things to use. So as I'm doing this, I feel like it's, as I already said, I have a plaid and then a cut file that has, kind of very geometric lines. And now I'm adding in a whole bunch of Christmas trees. It's getting a little busy. So eventually I'll go back here and figure out ways to make it less busy. But this is where I really wish I had used white cardstock instead of the plaid paper. I think that would have made the cut file stand out more. and all the elements for that matter, and the mixed media. So I am taking this sticker sheet of phrases, titles, and I'm going to obviously put "Oh Christmas Tree." But the banner was kind of throwing me off a little bit, the word Christmas and the banner. I really like the banner, but I just couldn't get it placed right. I don't know. So you'll see me playing around, and I keep moving the banner around to different places and moving the title all around the page because I am not satisfied with where it is. I needed something to back my photo. Sometimes I often use, well, these are the 4x6 cards that come in the Hip Kit Club Project Life Kit. I like to buy the Project Life Kit or the Pocket Life Kit, whatever they call it, because of all the embellishments in it. I don't often use the cards. I'll mostly use them for backing photos like this, but I also use the packaging of the products, the Hip Kit Club exclusive products. So the pink packaging there is from, I think, from those alpha stickers that I was going to use. So I'll just cut off a square of that. I decided to go with the blue instead of the pink. There was already a lot of pink on the page, so a blue matte, I think, worked best. So also the trees being patterned, a couple of the patterns on the trees were also very, very busy. So, but I wanted to add in, now I'm going to add in some navy because there are a couple trees there that have bits of the navy in them. So I thought I would add a few more navy trees. So this photo was actually not, I have a really great photo of the kids, standing in front of the tree and they're both smiling. I often choose those photos for my layouts because I most of the time only use one photo, maybe two on my pages. But I decided to pick a photo that had a little bit different angle this time and had a little bit more action. And it's funny because as I was saving this image to my file today, I realized that the page I did last Christmas of my kids with the Christmas tree, I also titled "Oh Christmas Tree," and they have the same coats on, so it kind of looks like it's the same year. So I'm glad I used a different photo with a different angle to represent this year's photo. So again, I was going all through all the little bits in the kit, and there are just so many cute things, so I thought maybe I would add this bow. But it is also patterned. If we count up all the different kinds of patterns I have on here, we're getting up there. So you can see I pulled out another little die cut bow that just a plain red bow that doesn't have as much pattern to it, and I decided to go with that bow because it does not have as much pattern. So where do I put the bow? I kind of wanted it in the title because the title has all green letters. And I kind of liked the bow on the fold of the paper there because I just thought it kind of brought attention to the fold. Then I stick it over underneath the title. I'm still not happy with that there. I'm trying to play around with more trees in the background here. So I think I end up just going with the navy there. Yep, I'm gonna commit. I've definitely committed once I've glued something down because this glue does not come off. This is the Scotchgard, the tacky glue. I think I'm just trying to like balance some of the colors now because I felt like it was a little heavy with pink, that pinkish red in some areas. This is what takes me so long for a page every time is finding the right things. Okay, this is where I decide that the cut file and the plaid and the trees are just too much. Well, I've been thinking about this the whole time, but I decide I need to tone down the color of the cut file to kind of make it blend in a little bit more, to make it look like it's further in the background, I guess. So I am just using my finger and I'm taking some white gesso and I'm going over every little edge of this cut file here to tone down that green. And it does really make the cut file blend in with the background more, which is kind of what I wanted because Again, if I had just used white cardstock, I probably wouldn't have minded the dark color because you know, it really stands out. You can see the file, but not with the plaid and everything else that's going on here. I used to scrap and use so much pattern paper, but I don't anymore. I just really use a lot of mixed media. But there is the final product, which I am very happy with how it came out. I'm glad I toned that down. You can see my little white paint there on some of those die cut trees. You can also see I changed out the word Christmas because that was bothering me. I went to a fabric red Christmas. I think those are some old Prima letters. I moved my bow over, I added a little journaling spot, and that's that. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my page today, and I will be back very soon with another holiday or winter layout. Stay scrappy, friends.